Alright, so you guys are about to do a collage. You have to find good images to work with, or your work will look amateurish. So join me in going to the Google search bar and type out advanced image search and click on it. And you'll put your search term, let's say black and white portrait. And here's the key where it says image size. Click on the drop down and select larger than 8 megapixels. You can change a few other things, but we are going to maybe look in the file format of JPEG and press advanced search. You'll see a variety of options come up, and while we've specified that it should be larger than 8 megapixels, sometimes they trick you. So if you click on here, you'll hover over here and notice that it says about 3000 by 3000 pixels big. If you right click on it and say copy the image, you can go back to your Photopea tab, or Photopea if you're that kind of person, and click on new project, and you'll notice that it should replicate the same number of pixels that you have from your clipboard, whatever you copied. So you can press create and paste it into here, Control V to paste. And that is one of the ways that you can get pictures into Photopea. And I mean big pictures, because when you go to make your new file, let's say we are making a file that is in inches. We're going to do it, let's say 11 by 17. The DPI of 300. And we press create. If we go back to our previous new project with our move tool, auto select and transform, making sure those are selected, we can drag this image up into project, new project, and you'll see that that's pretty big. You know, that's at 300 dots per inch or pixels per inch, that's gonna still have a high resolution once we enlarge it if we need to. So if I'm dragging down from here and I hold down shift and I need to make that a lot bigger and zoom in on it, that's not great, but it's not the end of the world. You can even get bigger if you go back to advanced image search and choose higher than 8 megapixels. If you want to make sure that the file that you're using is a file that you have permission to use, then you can come up to the usage rights option in the tools, where you select Creative Commons licenses only. Now these are available for different reasons, and they'll describe what those reasons are as you click on them. So for example, if I click on this picture, it says licensable. Let's look at this. Get this image on Wikimedia Commons. Look at the license details. So take a peek at those. What does it say here? No copyright on it. The person who associated a work with this deed has dedicated the work to the public domain by waiving all of his or her rights to the work worldwide under copyright law, which means you can use this for any reason. You can make money off of this image if you wanted to. You can copy, modify, distribute the work, and even perform it, etc. Now usually when you guys are working on images in here, these are made by a photographer who took the time to, beautifully light something, or, an artist who worked hard on making it, and it's best if you don't use it unless you have permission. But for 3 reasons, I think it's okay to take images for our purposes. 1, we're not selling it. 2, you're using it for educational purposes. And 3, you're most likely going to be altering it in some way so that it doesn't become so much recognizably theirs anymore. For instance, you might just end up taking the texture of this cow hair, and nobody's ever going to look at it and say, hey, that's my cow hair. So just be aware that you are able to search through Creative Commons licenses, which will guarantee that you have permissions to use it. Sometimes you'll come across an image that looks like it's going to be big enough, but when you actually click on it, turns out that it's not that big. So let's open image in new tab, and sometimes you just come across stuff that you don't want to mess with. If you want to see if this is a big enough image, click through to see where it leads you. You can open link in new tab, and if you click on this image, If there's a little magnification symbol over where your cursor is, then you can click on that. If it looks enormous, then that is indeed as big as it had promised to be, and you can copy or save that image and then bring it into Photopea as desired. Edit and paste, or you can press Ctrl V. You've got a nice big image to work with. Sometimes you'll come across an image that says it's going to be big, but it's not. Like if I click on this one, it says it's going to be 3200 by 4800, but if I right click on it and say open image in new tab, look what pops up. This tiny thing. And if I were to copy that image and bring it into Photopea and press Ctrl V to paste, look how dinky that is. So you do sometimes have to follow the links and see whether the image that you want is indeed as big as they say it is.